ESPN just predicted something no other team in its summer forecast matched. A Spurs player or coach finished first or second in 5 major award races. Victor Wembanyama leads the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year voting. Stephon Castle leads Most Improved Player. Dylan Harper is second for Sixth Man of the Year. Mitch Johnson misses first place for Coach of the Year by a single point. That sounds like a collection of compliments. It is actually one enormous prediction about how San Antonio will separate, because these awards require 4 different players and 1 coach to solve problems that compete with each other. The panel was made up of ESPN reporters, editors, and analysts, with 5 points awarded for a first-place selection, 3 for second, and 1 for third. These are not official ballots, betting odds, or guarantees. They are a snapshot of national expectations before training camp, and the margins matter. Wembanyama received 102 MVP points. Nikola Jokic was second with only 31. For Defensive Player of the Year, Victor led Giannis Antetokounmpo 108-20. ESPN is not merely placing him in both conversations. Its panel is treating him as the clear starting point for each one. But the most revealing number may be the vote Victor barely received. In the same forecast, Wembanyama earned only 1 vote to lead the NBA in scoring. Luka Doncic received 11. That tells us exactly how ESPN expects Victor to win MVP. The case is not built around chasing 35 points every night or absorbing every available shot. It is built around becoming the most valuable two-way force on an elite team. Enough offense to bend every matchup, enough defense to define San Antonio's identity, and enough availability to keep that impact on the floor for the entire season. If Wembanyama wins MVP and Defensive Player of the Year together, he will join one of the smallest clubs in league history. Only Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Giannis have captured both awards in the same season. Victor would be the 4th. The defensive half appears almost assumed by the panel. The MVP half is more demanding because it depends on team results, offensive responsibility, and a comparison against Jokic, Doncic, and the reigning back-to-back winner, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That requirement is 65 credited games. Last season, Wembanyama appeared in 64 regular season contests and received an additional eligibility credit for playing in the NBA Cup championship game. He reached the line narrowly enough that availability cannot be treated as a footnote. San Antonio must preserve him without turning preservation into disqualification. That creates the first contradiction in ESPN's prediction. The Spurs need Victor healthy for the games that matter most, but MVP and DPOY require him to participate consistently long before the postseason begins. Managing that balance may be as important as any change to his statistics. So the first payoff is clear. ESPN is not forecasting a scoring explosion. It is forecasting a full season of controlled dominance, with Wembanyama joining Jordan, Olajuwon, and Giannis as an MVP DPOY winner, while remaining available often enough to qualify. But the next award exposes an entirely different challenge, and it has almost nothing to do with Wembanyama. Castle received 34 points for Most Improved Player, only 2 more than Oklahoma City's Cason Wallace. Unlike Victor's enormous leads, this is nearly a tie. Castle averaged 16.7 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 7.4 assists last season, finishing 6th in the league in assists per game. He has already made the obvious statistical leap. The next one will be harder to produce because voters need to see improvement from a player who already controls a major share of the offense. More touches alone will not distinguish him. The cleaner use of those touches might. Castle recorded 502 assists and 217 turnovers, approximately 2.3 assists for every turnover. His 217 giveaways placed him among the league's highest volume turnover players. That does not make him a poor playmaker. It reflects how much San Antonio trusted a 21-year-old to organize possessions. It also identifies the clearest path to the award. If Castle maintains his creation while eliminating rushed passes, leaving his feet without an outlet, and attacking gaps that have already closed, the offense improves without taking a single additional possession from Wembanyama, Fox, or Harper. His MIP case can be built on control rather than volume. Harper creates the more complicated forecast because ESPN placed him in 2 races. He finished second for 6th Man of the Year with 23 points and third for Most Improved with 21. As a rookie, he averaged 11.8 points and 3.9 assists in only 22.6 minutes while shooting 50.5% from the field. He converted 66% at the rim, and Pounding the Rock calculated that he made 48% of his threes across 26 games after the All-Star break. The panel is betting that those flashes become a larger, more consistent role. The question is where that role can exist. There is a detail hidden in the 6th man voting that changes the entire bench conversation. Keldon Johnson is the reigning winner. He scored a franchise record 1,081 points as a reserve and came off the bench in all 82 games. Yet he did not appear among ESPN's top 4 candidates for the coming season. Harper did. The forecast, therefore, implies more than a sophomore leap. It implies that the most important reserve role in San Antonio is about to move from the player who just won the award to the 20-year-old guard who needs the ball to accelerate his development. Harper must come off the bench more often than he starts to remain eligible for 6th Man of the Year. That creates the strangest possibility in the forecast. He could become too good to fulfill it. If he forces his way into the opening lineup for most of the season, his award case disappears, even though his development succeeds. Mitch Johnson can instead let Harper initiate the second unit, increase his minutes, and close important games without changing his formal designation. The real decision is not whether he receives an introduction before tip-off. It is whether he controls enough possessions when the outcome is undecided. Now place the Castle and Harper predictions together. ESPN expects both guards to make major leaps, even though they share a backcourt with De'Aaron Fox and compete for creation inside the same offense. That works only if improvement means more than higher usage. Castle can make faster reads and reduce empty possessions. Harper can lead reserve groups, punish the rim, and improve away from the ball. Fox can apply downhill pressure without controlling every action. If all 3 need the ball to prove they improved, the forecast collapses. If each becomes better at a different stage of the possession, San Antonio's guard depth becomes the reason it works. That brings us to Mitch Johnson, who received 32 Coach of the Year points, 1 fewer than Rick Carlisle. Johnson already finished 3rd in the official voting last season, so his presence is not based on novelty. But Coach of the Year usually rewards the person whose team exceeds expectations, and San Antonio is no longer entering a season with low expectations to beat. The previous winner, Joe Mazzulla, guided Boston through much of the year without Jason Tatum and still produced 56 victories. Johnson must now manufacture surprise from a team the national media already expects to contend. His case will depend less on one dramatic tactical invention than on resolving the conflicts created by the other predictions. He must keep Wembanyama eligible without exhausting him, give Castle enough control to improve his decision-making, expand Harper's role without destroying the spacing of the starting group, and preserve meaningful work for the reigning 6th man. Tobias Harris and Julian Champagny add another choice at forward. Awards voters will see wins. The coaching value will be hidden in how many players reach their best roles without another player being forced into the wrong one. This is why ESPN's forecast is more coherent than it initially appears. Wembanyama does not need the scoring title if Castle and Harper create efficient offense around him. Castle does not need a massive usage increase if better decisions turn existing possessions into better shots. Harper does not need to start if he controls the bench and closes games. Mitch Johnson does not need to reinvent the Spurs if he connects those roles into one structure. Each individual prediction depends on the others becoming true in a way that does not steal the same oxygen. There is also a necessary warning. Summer forecast points are expressions of opinion, not official award votes cast 8 months early. Injuries can erase eligibility. Roles can change in training camp. Voter fatigue can alter the DPOY conversation, while one unexpected team can create a completely new Coach of the Year favorite. Castle leads Wallace by only 2 points. Harper trails Caruso and sits 1 point ahead of A.J. Mitchell. Those are crowded races, not declarations. Even Wembanyama's enormous advantage must survive actual games against candidates the panel has placed far behind him. The first month will reveal whether the prediction has substance. Track Wembanyama's availability more closely than his scoring average. Track Castle's assist-to-turnover ratio more closely than one spectacular shooting night. Track whether Harper is merely the first substitute or the player trusted to run and finish possessions. Track how Keldon responds when the reigning sixth man is no longer treated as the automatic face of the bench. And track whether Mitch Johnson settles on rigid labels or builds different closing groups for different opponents. Those signals will tell us more than an October box score. And to see why that same collection of skills may give opponents no safe matchup in the starting lineup, watch our full breakdown of the NBA's biggest pick-your-poison problem.